A very good evening. Welcome to Sports Tonight. It is the Thursday edition, and of course, we're so much happy to be here to take you on a trip across the money spinning world of sport. I'm Yemi Adebayo. It's a big night for African football. The best footballers will be honored tonight at the prestigious CAF Awards. And trust us to fill you in with what is happening right there in Abuja as we continue with the show. If anything breaks, we'll let you know. The ceremony has started as we speak, but of course, when the awards start coming, we will be bringing it to you to let you know. Of course, there are Nigerians in contention, talking about Florence Omagbemi, Azizat Oshola, Alex Iwobi, Kelechi Iheanacho, and the Super Falcons, the team. So there's so much in it for Nigeria. Well, of course, there will be, today's Thursday, we'll be giving you a slice of basketball on the show. We will not be traveling to Washington tonight, but of course, Femi Adefeso is in the house. He will be giving us all the lowdown from the domestic scene and, of course, what is happening in the United States, talking about basketball. We will also travel abroad as well, take you to England, talk about matches gone by in the English Premier League, and also look forward to the prestigious FA Cup. Let me pause a little and quickly introduce my partners on the show. The start of the show with me tonight, sitting right next to me, Femi Adefeso. We're always seeing you on Thursdays, and it's good to have you. And you're starting off the show tonight.
Yes, I'm not coming off the bench. So you can rest assured that I'll give a stellar performance tonight. It's good to be here once again. Especially when we are looking forward to our compatriots, getting the medals. I hope they keep the awards home. Let those guys not take it away from us. And really, these guys, all of them, both the ladies and the guys, they've worked out this year or last year, and I think they deserve every award tonight. Everyone that's been named, even the other Africans,
fortunately, there's always going to be one winner.
Yes, I've done very well, but I think ours still stand a bigger chance. The Wobbies, the Asisats, Jolas, maybe Florence might be very tight one for her, being in the group of men. But hey, upsets are bound to happen. This is sports. You never can tell.
All right.
If you could get the chestnut out of the fire.
And of course, Niyo Kwande joins us. It's been a while, but Niyo, Happy New Year and welcome to Sports Tonight.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to be back tonight again. And where else can we start from apart from the African Awards? Femi has said everything else. There's nothing else to talk about. Respecting the Nigerian contestants to win 1 or 2 awards, at least we are the hosts. We should get some things.
All right, we're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could be a clean sweep, but I'm very sure we will get something. And I hope it's more than 2. I hope it's more than 3. Like Femi pointed out, might be a bit difficult for Florence Omagbemi in that she's in a group that has guys. But of course, you could take it to the bank that Alex Iwobi, Kelechi Iheanacho, the Super Falcons, the squad, those could be sure banker tonight. All right, let's bring you to all of the things we're talking about on the show tonight. Let's tell you how you can be part of this show, how you can get your views, your thoughts across to us, how the world can hear what you're thinking in your heart. This is how you can do it. On Facebook, it is Channels-Sports, and on Twitter, it is at Channels_Sports. That's how you can get your thoughts across to us on the show. And of course, your opinion matters a lot to us. So you can give that opinion and talk about all the things we've raised on this program and some things you feel we should be talking about. You can also read up on our top stories on www.channelstv.com. You can view those top stories on youtube.com/channelsweb. You can take it a step further. If what you have is your iPad, your iPhone, or your BlackBerry, go to channelstv.com and of course follow the prompt and you'll be viewing us live. You can also download the Channels TV app for your Android, your iOS, and Windows from the respective stores. And once you do that, you will be viewing us live. All right, guys, before, trust us to be filling you in with updates as they come. For now, there's still some artists are still performing on stage before we came in. But when the awards start coming, trust us to be the ones to let you know. But guys, let's talk about Aruna Quadri. Is been positive all the way. It's always good when you're talking about Aruna Quadri because there are a lot of positives to talk about. Case in point here that he remains Africa's best table tennis player in the latest ranking released by the International Table Tennis Federation, that's the ITTF. He's rated world number 25, and guess what? He is ahead of African rival Omar Assar, who is in number 45. Some gap building. Aruna's presence in top competition has been gaining ranking points, and that's why he's world number 25 right now, Femi.
Yeah, and it's good. It's good we have one over Egypt, and it's always fresh, you know, to know that Aruna is becoming, you know, the shining light of African table tennis. You cannot just but think about, you know, what he did in the Olympic Games, being the first African, you know, to get into the quarterfinals. You know, having lost to the #1 player, you know, in the world in that competition, and you can see he's beginning to fight and knock on the door, you know, of those big players. It's just a matter of time. I think he will eventually get there. I tell people that like tennis, table tennis, you know, it's a game of errors. You know, it gets to a point when it's your time, and you just have to seize it and make good use of it. You can see it even in tennis itself, how different players have dominated at certain points, and then all of a sudden, you know, they fizzle out, and then it's someone else's time. I think this is Aruna Quadri's time, and I just hope he can build and get to the highest point he can ever, you know, aspire to get to on the world stage now, because he's conquered Africa already. Yeah. You know, being #1 for this long, and his nearest rival is 45 position. He's in 45 and he's in 20. So it's a long way of, you know, I just hope form is good. He gets money. Yeah. You know, value. That's another thing too that is very important at this stage. You can, you know, make use of the position and the clout and the media that comes up with all of it, so you can make better
make something for himself.
Income for himself.
Lee, getting to the top is difficult, but staying there is a lot more difficult.
Yeah, he has actually done well, you know, for himself. I'm actually surprised he has gone this far. And looking at how well he has done to get here, I think he can actually go a few steps further. You know, and if you there's a tournament going on in going to take place in Hungary very soon. And he's pairing up for the doubles for with Omar Assar, and look at the gap between them, 25th to 45th, and this is a Nigerian. Last year I actually didn't see him getting this far, but you know, as time progressed, as he was performing, you know, the Olympic Games, you know, tournament from tournament, he has, you know, he's just been the shining light for Nigerian table tennis. Even Segun Toriola, the veteran, is out of the 100. He's, I think, 105 or 6 currently, Segun Toriola at the moment. So it's going to be a tough task for him. Actually. 103. It's going to be a tough task for him staying there. But, you know, with the competitive edge he has over Omar Assar, because, you know, he plays regular table tennis, you know, with that constant, you know, playing all the time regularly, he's definitely going to improve him, and he's going to get better with time. So I still think he will go above 25. He'll still get into the top 20.
Stay on top for a while.
Yes, yes.
Guys, let's talk about it. Let's be bold enough to say this. It was talking about the shifts, errors. We'll get to a point where there will be an era in tennis where the Asians that seem to be dominating. It's good that you have an African, a breath of fresh air, an African into 25, and listening to you feel it's going to go. We will get to that time where maybe the Chinese and some people from Asia will not be the ones dominating table tennis.
Well, I don't know about that because they seem to own the game, so to speak. You look at the world junior player when we're monitoring a competition, I think about 2 months ago, a 13-year-old, you know, oh boy, his name skips my head now. You know, at 13, you're already world #1 or the best player in the world, you know, at the youth level. So you can imagine, you know, what to look forward to.
Producing people like that on a constant basis, because there's a lot of competitions, you know, there's infrastructure, there are programs, you know, there are, you know, a lot of things. You know, I remember one of the very first Lagos Open to have before it became Nigeria Open, you know, when the sports classics, you know, started out. The Egyptian team, when they come around, they come with series of coaches. The players come with individual coaches, then they have a chief coach, you know, and that's organization, you know. And then you look at it, this is what's happening here, you know. You ask yourself that we haven't even scratched the surface when it comes to building for the future. Now we're talking about Aruna Quadri. Who is next? It's a big puzzle.
We don't even have an idea, you know, right now as we speak. So it's putting things in place. It doesn't just happen. You don't sleep and wake up and then you find yourself there. It's hard work, it's consistency, it's planning. And if we really want to break, you know, into, you know, that high class or high rank place with the Chinese, that's talking about Africans generally now, we also need to put deliberate effort and structures in place to ensure we get there. But with the way these Chinese are going, and the fact that they're even beginning to infiltrate the African market, now we see Chinese playing for Congo, playing for South Africa, you know, and I've seen them represent different countries. And you're wondering, wait, when did the Chinese become, even in Europe, Portuguese, you know, so they're really beginning to spread, because even the Chinese nationality cannot even contain all of them. You know, representing the nationality, they're beginning to represent all other countries. It shows naturally they have the talent for the game, but also I think there's a structure that we need to emulate to ensure that we can compete with them.
Can that day come?
Apart from that structure that we need to work on, because if you take a look at it, you know, side by side with football, you notice that the Americans, they've tried to invest so much in football just to catch up with what's going on in Europe and South America, but they've still not been able to. So for me, the way forward for Africa to actually get to that level is to do exactly what England, you know, have been doing. You have to naturalize. Pick this Chinese, bring them to your country at a very tender age. Those that are here, train them, let them play with your people, and they represent your country. That's how to get there. For me, this game is for the Asians. It started from there. And for you to, you know, for you to say you just want to take over like that, it takes long-term plan. Even with the long-term planning, you are not sure to actually get to that top spot. It's going to be really hard. For me, the only way to get there is to pick them and make them represent your country.
And have a mix.
Exactly. Like the Europeans do for us anyway. They pick African players. Dele Alli has been scoring for, has been playing very well for Tottenham. He's a Nigerian.
England.
He has a Nigerian blood in him. He's not going to play for Nigeria. He's playing for England. So for me, that's the way.
Okay.
Well, we have a player in top 25 right now. Without mix. So, into the top 20.
But you said what? You already said what
about how long it will take us.
Yes.
Well, my guys laid out options on the table, and we're still on that journey. Hopefully, Nigeria will become a multi-sport nation. That when we're talking about sports, it's not just going to be about football, and we'll be able to do everything we need to do to ensure that we become one of the best in the world. Now we have somebody in the top 30. Like Femi said, we need to make use of that and see how we can develop the game and probably wrestle power away from the Asians, even though that in itself is an Herculean task. All right, guys, let's quickly move on. Before we go on a break, quick one. The announcement will come any moment from now, but I've not had the opportunity to have you guys talk about this. In 30 seconds, for you who's going to emerge as the African best today, best player, I don't want you to tell me your reason, but what your gut tells you. Mahrez, Mane, Aubameyang.
Okay, thank you for saying that. I was going to ask, based in Africa...
No. The big one.
I think Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang will take.
I'm not going to ask you the reason.
Okay, I'm sure Africa being Africa, anything can happen. For me, Riyad Mahrez should win it.
Okay, and then we'll go on a quick break. Okay, before we go on that break, I think we also have to look at another category that's the ladies.
Okay.
The fact that we won the African Women's Championship, will it be counting in Asisat's favor tonight? There are some decent players in our category, but the fact is that we're the African champions. She played well. Will that play into our hands tonight?
Yeah, it should. But Gabriel of Cameroon, I think won the most valuable player at the Alcon, even though Nigeria won. So I think that would be the major obstacle to getting that crown. Now, she hasn't had a very decent year holistically, although she managed to get the highest goal scorer at the Nations Cup there. So it's tough for me between both girls, though. Between the Cameroon and
I think Asisa Oshoala should win it.
Okay.
She should.
All right. Then we'll go on that break now, and we're back for more on Sports Tonight.